Limerick have, at their age group, since they've been 14 or 15, these lads have been totally dominant. I mean, they're big guys, they're very strong, but that's only a small part of the package, really. They're brilliant hurlers as well, regardless of their size. So they have it every way. They have a lot of intelligence on the field, off the field, and really they have, they've brought the bar to a new level, really, and they've been utterly dominant. And I'm sure that if they had a second chance at 2019 in Kilkenny, they had 20 something wides on the day. If you take a form line through Tipperary, were beat Kilkenny subsequently by a lot in the final, and Limerick had beaten Tipperary by an awful lot in that Munster final. So, it could be that they could have been going for 5 or 6 or 7 in a row at this stage. You know what I mean? So they've been that dominant. But it's 5 in a row has never been done before. It's a tough thing for any team to do, and the closer they get to it, I'm sure the tougher it's going to be. Years ago, you'd wonder who'd win the Munster Championship, and obviously it was impossible to say who'd win it most years. And now you have to try and pick 3 to come out of 5, and it's impossible to do that most years as well. It's great for the players, really, to get 4 or 5 games like that. It all comes very quickly. It's great for us as spectators. I'm sure it has its difficulties if you're in management of the hurling teams, in terms of getting your logistics and getting organised and getting everything happening so quickly. But at the same time, like, for spectators, it's fantastic. And yeah, what am I looking forward to? Sure, it starts off with a bang in Ennis with Limerick and Clare, really, the first day. And can Clare put a hole in Limerick on day one? They've been very close the last couple of years, and while it's hard to see anyone beating Limerick, and hot favourites for the championship, Munster and All Ireland, but what would happen if they were beaten the first day? Do you know what I mean? It puts you on the back foot straight away. So it's lots to look forward to, really. The years fly past. I can remember the Munster final of '84 like it was yesterday. The health and safety regulations weren't enforced as well in 1984 as they will be this year, and the whole front of the new stand was lined with Cork and Tipperary supporters, which I wouldn't actually like to be up there myself, but anyway, I may as well have been up there as what I did in 1984 on the field anyway. But yeah, it's been it's hard to believe that the 2001 team, as you say, are almost 25 years past their sell-by date at this stage, but that's life. There's huge differences, really, in the sport itself. The equipment, I think, the hurleys and the ball itself are, the ball travels further. Control of the ball is much easier. It's a beautiful game to watch. People hark back for ground hurling and clash of the ash in the air, but really, it's a game of possession now, and it's a fabulous game, to watch, really, and it's at that level there are differences, and I mean in terms of preparation, etc. There's just an ocean of difference, even from 2001. I mean, I was only thinking about it. I mean, the backroom team that we would have had in 2001 wouldn't have been any more than, including selectors, mightn't have been any more than 7 or 8 people, whereas it's multiples of that now for all teams, really.
Oh, that's gone all the way in. Chances here, first chance, taken with him, Marco.
First Munster final I played in '84. I remember the selector who was driving us was late, and we just went by car into Thurles and took our chances with the traffic. There was no such thing as being there early, and so it was a world of a difference, basically, between the way teams prepare now and the way they did previously. When we were in the Abbey CBS, and when I was going to school there, certainly West Tipperary or the Abbey CBS wouldn't have been seen as a stronghold of hurling in either West Tipperary or Limerick. Whereas if you take that Tipperary team that we played, and an awful lot of the players subsequently came from West Tipperary. You've John Kiley is in the Abbey CBS, and now you have a lot of the Limerick team who are either from Oola, Doon direction, which is unusual as well in a historic context. So anyway, we can take pride in the Abbey CBS and Tipperary Town and its environs. Just lots of things I remember, but I'd say by far the best for us on the team we was in Killarney in 1987. Just that breakthrough after so long. Tipperary hadn't won for 17 years at the time, and for a long time in the 70s hadn't even won a match in the Munster Championship. So that day in Killarney was really special. And I know we didn't win the All-Ireland thereafter, but really for me and many of my teammates, that would have been the real highlight.
Bonner still to Pat Fox. They look for their first score, and he has put it over the bar, has he? Yes. Pat Fox puts it over.
We had great times actually, and Pat Fox was, we'd great players on that team. Pat Fox was an outstanding player really, and like when we started off playing, Pat was one to look up to for us really, because he was on the team in 1980 when the rest of us were just minors, and then he played cornerback in 85 in a Munster final. Having come back from a knee injury, and then was struggling with the knee when he came back in 87, and was subsequently a key member of that Tip team that won those matches. But we can't just leave out Joe Hayes, because he, in his view, some of the best goals that Tipperary scored, he was the deliverer of the ball, and it was on a plate, and as he has quite often said to Pat Fox and myself, we didn't have a whole lot to do with it, just the big work was done.